Hello, this is Kyle back again for another episode of this podcast. Today we are going to be talking about Maribel Caves Hotel, aka Hotel Hell. Um, Now this is probably one of my favorite looking haunted locations in the state of Wisconsin, and I figured it deserves its own episode compared to most of the ones that I do nowadays, which is all gathered into a group most of the time. But this one's a little bit different because it has a little bit of history and stuff like that. Um, in this state, it's called Maribel Caves Hotel, aka Hotel Hell. It's nicknamed. It was built in the 1900s, and the reason why the nickname Hotel Hell is because of its haunted legacy. Now, that's the reason why it's haunted, or why it has its name Hotel Hell, and we'll get right into that. Now, this place, when we get to reading it and stuff, it kind of reminds me of Mineral Springs down in Texas with Crazy Town or whatever, because Crazy Town has the legacy of the natural spring water, or no, the mineral water that people drink and it drove people nuts, supposedly, where they committed suicide or whatever. And it's not like that because this is more like natural water from the natural area. Now, the Marbell Caves Hotel was built in 1900. We already talked about that, and the name was nicknamed after the neighboring Cherny Marbell Caves. The hotel had a natural spring on the property. The hotel operated as a fear pick spa. The spring water was pumped into the hotel for guests to bathe in and drink. The railroad came in and it became a hot spot for people to go to. The guests enjoyed the mineral water of the hotel. I guess it was mineral water. I didn't know that. So they enjoyed the mineral water of the hotel so much they built a watering plant next to the hotel. They also made it into soda water and shipped it to restaurants and fine hotels in Milwaukee and Chicago. In 1915, the company began to go under, and the hotel was leased. According to reports, John Dillinger allegedly frequented, or he went there a lot, the hotel as a stopover on its way to Eagle River. It is also said that the notorious Al Capone was known to visit the hotel as well. This was around the 1920s and 1930s. In 1931, the hotel was purchased by someone else, not not as much is known between 1931 and 1981, and got a new owner in 1985. Fire broke out, and what's left is an old looking rumble of a castle. The walls are still intact, but the interior is gone basically. But it does look really cool considering this place because it looks like a castle basically, a wrecked castle or something like that. It's made out of stone or whatever, so yeah, it's really cool looking. The hauntings of the hotel. Now, to start with, there was no deaths in the fire that we talked about. So let's write that off. The hauntings. Let's write that off of the hauntings, unless if you believe that the building was caught on fire two different times. I didn't mention up above about the one in the 1920s and our time it was in the 1930s, but hard to judge to say the least. Some skeptics of the skeleton, or no, some say the skeletons from people in those fires have been seen on the third floor before it was gone. Visitors to the Hotel Hell would see blood on the walls, hear yelling from the basement, and the ringing of a bell. More reported activity included cold hands applying pressure on your back, on the third floor and nobody is there. Feelings of being threatened in the basement, and apparently, if you shine a flashlight at the second floor window, something will shine a light back at you. Apparitions have been seen on the front lawn of the hotel and sitting on the side of the road. Um, some have seen objects float in midair on their own and move up. Figures standing at one of the windows looking out of the hotel have been seen also. Now, some people say that there's like a portal or something like that that have been seen, or not seen, but that's what's causing all the paranormal activity here. Um, that's one of the theories. I'm not sure for myself because I haven't been there. Um, and I think it is private property nowadays, so that's another thing I gotta talk about too. So I just gotta let everybody know about that. Um, but yeah, that's basically the haunting of the history of the Maribel Caves Hotel. Uh, I also forgot to talk about there was a tornado back in 2013 or 2014 or something like that, where it almost took out the whole entire building. And it's even more rumbles now than it was before the tornado happened. So that's another thing. And the third floor, they're saying that all these hauntings is going on the third floor. Well, likewise, like what they said, the third floor does not exist anymore. So, what could be causing all these hauntings? I'm not sure myself. Um, but there's not that many records of anybody actually dying here at the hotel here, so that's another thing to talk about too, I guess, or to take note at least, is that there wasn't anybody that died here or anything like that. And it's just a really strange place in general. Now, the mineral water, there was no reports on anybody going crazy and committing suicides here either, and was also a spy at one point in time, which was a long time ago if you think about it. Um, well, 100 years ago. Anyway, but yeah, that's the history and stuff on this place and what my thoughts are on this place. Uh, I might post pictures or link for pictures on the description. I'm not sure yet. Probably not. But if you ever look up Maribel Caves Hotel or Hotel Hell in Wisconsin, that'd be easier to look up than Maribel Caves as Hotel Hell in Wisconsin. You could see how cool of a place this looks. Like, it would be. I could see why people think it would be haunted because it just looks like it would be. Um, but anyway, that's all I gotta talk about today. I know this is another short episode, or this is not. This is kind of a short episode, kind of not. I'm just rambling at this point in time. Um, I'll be talking to everybody in the next episode, and take care, and yeah,